All right, I'm sure we've all seen it by now. Israel's attacks on targeted Iranian facilities appears to be an amazing and major success. In addition to the facilities themselves, the IDF has confirmed the death of multiple Iranian officials as a result of all the attacks. But at the same time, obviously, the threat of an aggressive Iranian counterattack looms heavily over Israel. So how are those in Israel right now reacting to both the strike and the subsequent possibility of more war? Well, here to discuss this is Chris Mitchell. He is the Middle East Bureau Chief at CBN News. Chris, welcome back to Washington Watch. Thank you so much for staying up and for joining us.
Great to be with you, Jody.
All right, well, let's begin. Chris, are you safe to begin with? And then beyond that, what can you tell us about the situation as it's unfolding there?
Well, the situation is unfolding as we speak, Jody. As we prayed before we got on here, we're under the Psalm 91 protection right now. There were sirens that went off here in Jerusalem just about 30 minutes ago. Apparently, Iran has launched about 100 ballistic missiles towards Israel. We understand, and I've just been watching some of the news, I think 5 have hit Tel Aviv. That's all preliminary, and there are some injuries right now, but it's called severe punishment. That's the name of the retaliation by Iran right now. But as to your point, what you're saying, it's an amazing military operation that Israel has been unfolding for the last nearly 20 hours right now. Some people call it epic. The intelligence has been precise. The operation has been extraordinary, where dozens, if not hundreds, of Israeli planes have gone nearly 1,000 miles or more to hit many of the Iranian nuclear facilities, including Natanz, one of their main uranium enrichment facilities that's been dramatically destroyed. Also, we know today they have been attacking Fordo and Natanz, 2 other major nuclear facilities there in Iran. They've also knocked out much of the air defense systems of Iran, ballistic missiles, certainly not the ones that have been fired, but much of the ballistic missile capability has been degraded as well. And as you said, some of the top leaders have been eliminated, maybe 20 of the top leaders of the IRGC and the Iranian military. Just an extraordinary operation that's been years, literally years in the planning, Jody. The Iranian nuclear program hit the world stage in 2002, 23 years ago, and now Israel is finally, after months of speculation and years of planning, hit Iran's nuclear facilities. And just let me add, last night, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu went to the Western Wall. He put a note in the wall, and it was from Numbers chapter 23, verse 24, and I'll quote, it says, "He shall rise up like a lion and lift him like a lioness," and the name of the operation is called Operation Rising Lion.
Yes, I was reading that passage. I'd heard that he had done that and was reading that passage before we came on, and powerful. I'll actually have Tony on a little bit later, and we'll talk about that in greater detail. But this is a continuing, unfolding story, and the attacks on Tel Aviv, as you mentioned, maybe still taking place as we speak. But Iran also responded with the drone attacks after Israel attacked the strategic sites this morning. What happened, Chris, in that attack, and how is the nation reacting?
Well, in that attack, Jody, there was about 100 drones that were fired. Most all of them were eliminated or shot down before they even got to Israeli airspace. So that particular retaliation by Iran didn't succeed very well. But on the other hand, Israel's attacks not only against the nuclear facilities, as I said, but they actually were able to penetrate into Iranian territory with Mossad agents who had actually built, apparently, or established drones and missiles inside Iranian territory to be operated as soon as they gave the go-ahead, which was last night. And obviously there had been sort of maybe a deception program or policy in the last several days, several weeks. People were wondering, are they going to have negotiations? Are they going to succeed? Is Israel going to attack? Nobody quite knew exactly what was going to happen, except I'm sure people in the White House and here in Israel.
I understand that Israel now is in a state of an emergency following the attacks as well. They should be. And at the same time, as you kind of referenced, I would think that's not all that terribly uncommon. But for those of us here in the States, what does that mean, a state of emergency? Does life continue on, or does everything shut down? What does it mean for the people there in Israel?
Well, right now, Jody, it pretty well shuts down. There was no work today. Schools were closed, obviously. People are instructed right now to shelter in place, especially because of these ballistic missiles that have been fired at Israel. It means you're likely to get an alert about 10 minutes before missiles may reach Israeli airspace. And so the sirens go all over the country, and that means you have to just find a shelter, go to a bomb shelter. Just outside the street here where I'm at, Jody, there's hardly any traffic, and so people are just staying in place right now, staying put, and trying to stay safe.
Only about a minute left, Chris. The nuclear talks I just saw before we came on, looks like they may be called off right now, but that is not confirmed. What can you tell us on that front? President Trump has said Iran missed their chance. What do you expect as far as future talks are concerned?
I doubt they're going to happen, Jody, but President Trump is still opening the door for negotiations. He says they still have an opportunity to go to the negotiating table, stop their nuclear program, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen the way Iran is acting right now. But we'll see what happens. And just an encouragement, Jody, to pray for the peace of Jerusalem, pray for wisdom for Prime Minister Netanyahu, President Trump, and all the leaders or the advisors for both leaders. It's a very, very important time to be praying.
Absolutely, and we are calling on people to do just that. In fact, we have a prayer pledge to that end. Thank you, Chris Mitchell, CBN News Middle East Bureau Chief. Thank you. God bless you. Stay safe.